Hi, today I want to talk to you about a couple of really important things that will come up on the contract when you go to buy a house. The first one is the appraisal, which will give an independent value of the home. And the second one is the inspection, which will give an independent value of the condition of your home. Both very critical, and we'll discuss those in just a moment. Just wanted to remind you, we do these every week. We make another video about living, working, and playing in Colorado Springs. Love to have you subscribe. Hit that little bell. Here's my contact information if you have a question or a comment. And now let's get after it. So the first one is I want to talk about is the appraisal. When you go to buy a house, if you're buying all cash, this will not apply to you. If you're getting a loan, the lender is going to want to make sure that the value of the home is not more than the price that they're willing to lend on. So they bring in an independent appraiser, who is licensed by the state to do this sort of thing. And they will get an independent judgment of how much the house is worth based on what other houses in the neighborhood, similar size, and so on, have sold for recently. Now, the bank will pay the appraiser at the time, but you will pay it back at closing. You don't have to write a check. You don't have to bring any money. They will just add it on to the money you bring to close the house at the end. This could be $500, $700, something like that. Depends on the size of the house and the lender. But they want to make sure that the lender is loaning more than the house is worth. And so after they order it, in a rising market such as we're having now, it's possible that the appraisal will come back less than what you've agreed to pay. So let's say you've agreed to pay $500,000 for this beautiful home, and the appraisal comes back and says, well, we think it's worth $495,000. So this is called an appraisal gap. And usually the buyer will be required to bring that extra $5,000 to bring it up to the purchase price, because the lender's not going to lend based on the full price if it doesn't appraise for that. So you've got to be ready to either bring money to the table or let the deal go. So you've got to keep that in mind. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the inspection. Now, when you buy a house, it's a good idea to find out if there's anything wrong with it. And so you hire the inspector, and your broker, your realtor, can help you find a good person to do that for you, who's licensed by the state also. And they will come in and they'll find all kinds of stuff wrong with the house. Some of it's minor, some of it may be major. And then they will give you the report, and then they will, then you and your broker will decide what you're going to ask for. So some of the stuff that they find is really minor. This electrical outlet doesn't work right, or the grading around the house isn't the way it should be, or something fairly minor like that. On the other hand, they may find something major, like the roof needs to be repaired, or the sewer line needs to be replaced. Something like that is pretty major. So then you and your broker write up what's called an inspection objection. And based on all the things that the inspector found, you won't ask for all of them. You won't want to nitpick. That would be a bad idea to do. But you will want to get things that are going to be critical for the safety or for the structure of the home. So then you'll write that up and say, okay, Mr. Seller, here's what we wanted you to cover for us to complete this purchase. Now they've got several options. They can either ignore it and the deal closes and nothing happens, or they can say, yeah, we'll fix everything you asked for, or more likely they'll come back and say, we'll do some of this, but not all of it, or we'll ask you to split for some of this, but not all of it. And that's the inspection objection. So this is a negotiation piece, and it goes back and forth. And then when you agree on it, then the sale proceeds on to the next step. So in a rising market like we've got now, there's multiple bidders coming in sometimes for the same house. And some people are tempted to say, well, Mr. Seller, we're going to waive the inspection objection. We won't complain about anything. We won't even inspect the thing. And that is supposed to make our offer seem better to the seller. I think this is a really dangerous idea because you don't want to buy something and find out later what's wrong with it and maybe not have enough money left to fix it. A sewer line could run $8,000 or $10,000. A new roof could run you 12 to 15, depending on the size of the house, type of shingles you get, and so on. If the air conditioner is shot and it needs to be replaced, there's multiple thousands of dollars. So you really want to find out ahead of time what's wrong with the house, decide what you're going to object to. And this is a negotiation point. So I'd really recommend not waiving the inspection. It's a bad idea. You could be buying something that's broken and you don't even know about it. So those are the 2 points I wanted to talk about today. Just keep it nice and short. If you've got any questions, please put a comment or question in the comment section below, or I'll put up my contact information again, and you can call me or text me or email me. Love to hear from you. Take care. Well, I hope you found that useful. Be sure and let me know if you've got any questions or comments about it. Here's a couple other videos you might be interested in. Again, here's an opportunity to subscribe to the channel. And here's my contact information. I'd love to hear from you. Give me a thumbs up down below, please, or a comment, and see you later.